Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Um, I'm on as like special edition of D Live here. Kind of came together at the last minute today because we got some exciting stuff going on. I'm about to have a very special guest here in a moment. All my friends from Cincinnati know Khisha from Originalities, and that's half of the unboxing that we're going to do here in a minute. But the background is, and then I'll bring Khisha on, but just real quick, got some new shoes. Originalities, obviously has been in the gear game for a while now. She's growing and expanding her business, but shoes are something new. And so I picked up a pair. Wait till you see these things. They're super cool. But the thing that kind of led to this right now today is after all my talk about, you guys know how much I love Fresca, right? Old school Fresca 1966. And of course, it went away during the, during a pandemic. Just came back. I had a friend who saw some in Columbus and brought me down at 12 packs. If you guys saw that earlier this week. Then the next thing you know, I was talking about it, and I had this Fresca social media team reach out to me on Instagram and said, hey, we want to send you a little something. So a box shows up today at my door. Somebody brought it up from downstairs. Thank you to whichever neighbor that was. And I'm like, I don't remember ordering anything else. What the hell is this? And I start getting into it, and it turns out it's from Fresca, and I haven't opened it yet. So we'll see what it is. But before I do that, let me bring Khisha on here because she's hanging out in the green room, as it were, and she could join us for all of this. And then she's going to tell us some more about what's all the cool stuff going on with the Originalities. So, Khisha, what's up? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. So thanks for, I mentioned something about I was going to hop on here live real quick, and you reached out to me and said, how you like the shoes, and I'm, about to unbox them, so I haven't worn them yet, but they look amazing. And so thanks for hopping on real quick. Now, are you at the shop right now?
I'm not at the shop right now. I'm usually at the shop, but I was hopping on this live call, and then I think I'll head down there in a few.
Got you. So everybody, if they want to meet you down there, and we're gonna come back to you because I'm gonna knock this Fresca stuff out. But tell them where the location where they could go see you for all of our friends in Cincinnati. And I've got your website and social media tags. If you're out of town, you can go on there and order stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so come check us out. We're in East Walnut Hills. We're like a block up from Madison and Woodburn. So East Walnut Hills, 2809 Woodburn Avenue. We're in the business district there, and it's a lot of parking out there, a lot of on-street parking. We have a parking lot in the back. It's very walkable, bikeable area. So, feel free to come through, run through, whatever.
Right. And you pick up some of your cool designs, such as what I've got on here right now today, and the shoes that we're going to open in a minute. But I know everybody's on the edge of their seats about this Fresca routine. So just like quick background, maybe a lot of people don't know, I have, back in the day before I got into my whole police career, I went to school and got a business degree. Actually, I was a marketing major. So I love this like branding stuff and like, you see these unboxing videos on YouTube, which are like way better than whatever I'm trying to do. But, it's cool how you put like, different stuff in there, collateral, and just how these brands, do this stuff. And now with social media, like reaching out to people and stuff like influencers, quote unquote, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So let's see what we got here from Fresca. So this was as far as I got. I got the outside box opened up, and then I saw this, and I'm like, okay, hold up. Fresca's on point here with their brand. So, it disappeared for like 6 months. I was going to go down to Atlanta, down to Coke, this is a Coke brand, and raise all kind of hell down there at their headquarters if they did away with Tab because, there was problems with the can supply. But Fresca's coming back. It's a good thing. They don't want me coming down there and raising all kind of holy hell. But let's see what we got. Are you excited? This is super exciting, isn't it? All right. Can you guys see this? Just kind of turn this up this way. So I got a card. We'll open that. Look at this. Tissue paper. Now, before I get in there, let me open the card. See what they got to say. So these are the pros now. You know, I do it with my council campaign stuff, my little orange and blue, like little amateur stuff. But and you're a pro. But let's see how the big dogs do it here on a Coke brand. All right, what do we got? Definitely a Christmas theme, right? Fa la 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 fresca. We could all use a drink after 2020. I'm down with that. And we have just the cocktail for you. All right, we got fresca. We got cocktails. Honestly, it's one of the best vodka mixers ever invented. Now, have you ever had fresca, Khisha? Do you drink this stuff?
I haven't. I leave it all to you. I'm gonna leave. Fresca, all you like.
All right. Well, I'll take all of it, but you might want to check it out. It's good. It's good stuff for back in the day. 0 calories. I love that part. All right. The Palm Fresca is what they're talking about here. So we've got a cocktail recipe. We need to. Hey, Molly Wellman, if you're watching, you need to hop on here with us and maybe show us the right way to whip this up right quick. But ingredients are 2 ounces of Fresca, 1 ounce of pomegranate juice, 1 ounce of vodka. That sounds good right there. Frozen cranberries and fresh mint for a garnish. Super easy directions. Pour it over ice in a glass and stir with a swizzle stick. All right. So let's see if they give us all the ingredients here, what we got. Man, look at this, all kind of stuff. More wrapping and unwrapping. A couple of 20-ounce bottles here. Now, I got to tell you, they came back with these plastic bottles. The 2 liters suck. Like, if you ever tried Fresca, if you see in the 2 liter, don't get the 2 liter. It's not the same. In the 20-ounce bottles, it's pretty good, but really, cans are where it's at. So they got a nice little box here with the magnet. I like these magnetic. You see that box is like that. I don't know how they do that, but all right. Got my 2 Frescas. That's cool. Of course, I got a dozen 12 packs. That's what a gross 144 sitting over here out of closet space. And then some. Looks like you got some bar instruments here, childproof packaging, which will make it hard for me to get into. So this is called, what is this? There's probably some, I should know this. Hashtag bomb and bartends. That little measuring shot glass probably has a special name, but any of our, let me check the chat here. If anybody knows what that's called, drop it in the chat. I forget what the special name for it. We got some people stopping by. Please drop a comment if you guys are on there. Appreciate seeing that. Get your feedback as always. Bill Collins, what's up, Bill? Hoyle, have a nice weekend. Peace and blessings to you as well. Appreciate that. And we are, by the way, on YouTube. We're on my Twitter, which we got folks from all over the country on there, and actually the world. And then right here in Cincinnati on most of our Facebook stuff. All right, so we got a bar mixing spoon. I like that. I actually have, trying not to break it. My AirPods are falling out. It's a shit show. This is definitely not a high production value here, but you get what you pay for, right? All right, so so we got some bar instruments, and later on, I'll have to get the mint and the cranberry and all that stuff to make the, what was it called again? I lost the card. Fresca, Fresca and cranberries and mint. So that's cool. So to the folks at Fresca and Coke brands, thank you so much for sending this out. Very cool. I appreciate it. And we'll have more fun with that later on. But now let's get to the star of the show here, which is you and Originalities. Can you, and I've got the shoes here, we'll get them out in a minute, and I want to hear your inspiration and the story behind the shoes. But can you just give us a little bit, a minute or two on the background of you, what you do, and then how you got into this whole line of work and creating your own small business, which has really taken off here in Cincinnati.
Sweet. Yeah, so I started Originalities in 2009, so that was 11 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Time
Time
flies.
flies. I had to go find my, put my ears back in. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so I started Originalities 11 years ago. I realized there was a lot of brands that, not a lot of brands, but there was a lot of people that had, like, I love New York shirts. I love, California shirts and a whole bunch of different places like that. But there wasn't really any Ohio shirts. But I've lived in Ohio for almost my whole life.
Right.
And I realized that we had a lot of pride here. However, there weren't very many shirts that showed that. So I wanted to create that. And then another thing, me being 5'11", I had to have a good quality shirt. How many times have we had shirts where we throw it in a wash and then you have to give it to somebody else, or you order it too big initially? So I wanted to have a shirt that was really good quality that fits and things like that. So that kind of birthed Originalities. We came out with the Ohio Born and Raised, and then have been, really growing and expanding as time goes by. So one of the cool things is we've been shipping, like I said, for 11 years. And in July of this year, we actually opened up our first store in East Walnut Hills. So like I said, make sure you all come through. If you can't make it, we have a ton of ways for you to get your apparel, right? So you can either come in the store for that in-store experience. You can order online, then pick it up in the store. Maybe you don't want to come in the store. We will actually come and bring it to your car for curbside delivery. And recently we've added, even local delivery. So we'll go as far as 15 miles out, which is outside of the city limits.
And that's awesome. And I want to ask you about that, because talking about this whole, marketing kind of a topic that we're talking about today. I get your emails and stuff like that. And so like that, I don't know of anybody else that's really doing that outside of like, DoorDash and restaurants, but in terms of like products like that, not food related so much. And the business, you're doing that. Is it your own folks, or how does that act? So it's not like through Uber Eats somehow or something like that.
No, so it's myself or, some of our staff members who will be going out to do these deliveries, I think it means more too. It's more personal. Like, even though we're doing contactless deliveries, it just means more when it's us. Like, we know we dropped this off to you. We know that your product is in good hands. And we know that one of the things we also are doing is, delivering it the next day. So, Christmas along the corner, it's a lot of people scrambling. So, we were at Kenwood Mall for 4 years, and now it's just like, how can we meet the people where they are? So that's kind of what started the local delivery.
No, that's awesome. And I'm a huge supporter of just local business, small business, obviously a locally owned minority, Black female owned business is amazing. And so supporting that. But by the same token, one of the cool aspects, I think, is that kind of personal touch like that, which is, just so different than ordering, off of Amazon or some big company online or whatever. And even to the point where it is big companies, but it's, something like Fresca sending this out and, reaching out to you. That's one of the benefits of social media these days. But that personal touch, and even from like my angle, which is, I guess it's kind of marketing in the same way, right? In a political campaign, running for council, I know that I was just put them in the mailbox before we hopped on here. Was writing out a bunch of thank you notes, postcards to people that had, contributed to the campaign this past week. And it's just the feedback that, people really appreciate that. It's not a form letter, type of thing where you're getting that personal touch, whether it's a handwritten note, whether it's reaching out to somebody and sending them something, or like personally, delivering something from the owner of the business. I just think there's a lot of value to that. And like, if you think about it, it's like, wow, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, extra effort. But I think you're like building those relationships with people that like, now I'm like buying into this and like, I'm interested. It's not just like a spam email that I'm getting. Like, I want to see the things that, new stuff that you're talking about and stuff like that. Has that been your kind of the feedback that you've gotten about that so far?
Yeah, and what happens is like when people place an order with us, we send them an email, and then sometimes people will respond back to the email, and they're so surprised to see like another response. And I like to help build relationships. I mean, being an entrepreneur, and originalities, we're about building relationships and building a sense of community. So like we won't you like no matter how big originalities gets, we will always be in the community, working with the community, finding ways, where we can become more involved and things like that. Just because that's needed.
Right.
So when you're doing the extra touch, when your arm feels like it's about to fall off because you're doing all that, writing to these people individually, people love that.
Yeah.
And even the people who hear about it, they love that. Just because, think about it. When's the last time somebody wrote you a note to say thank you?
Right.
It's been a while, But
Yep.
generally, it's companies, small businesses, campaigns who are writing, thank you, just because it's even more impactful.
Yeah, I know. I agree 100%, and I think maybe even more so with the craziness that is 2020 and COVID, and we can't gather necessarily in groups like we want to do, and those types of things. So just ways to, I think it's even more important or more impactful to people, this year with everything that's gone on, to just kind of continue to have that personal touch. And so one of the things that I love that you just mentioned is talking about community. So, for example, the shirt that you have on, tell us about that and what those names are on the shirt for those that aren't familiar.
Yeah, so it's funny because we started the street shirt collection. I don't even know how many years ago now. We started with the OTR streets, and like people went crazy over it, So then we started creating shirts for other neighborhoods as well. And the one I have on now, it's just a Cincy Streets. I'll kind of stand up a little bit so you can see some of the streets. So it's a lot of different shirts in, Cincinnati.
Right.
It's not really a side. It's just like streets from all over, Cincinnati.
Right.
So, we've been doing this street shirt. We've been doing street shirts for quite some time now, Even so, like we've even moved to, we have a poster print where it has all the Cincinnati neighborhoods, because it became a thing where people was wanting street shirts for their neighborhoods as well, which is awesome and great, and we wanted to create more, but, we ended up creating this year the poster print that had all of the Cincinnati 52 neighborhoods on it, which, yourself, you'll be helping represent those 52 neighborhoods as well, yeah, like it's all about being in the community and making sure that we are creating shirts where people feel that sense of community. They have that pride. So we're just basically, people already have this pride. They love their neighborhoods. They love their city. We're just giving you apparel that basically matches that pride that you already have.
Oh, that's awesome stuff. I love everything about it. And when we're done here, everybody go on. I've got the website up, originalities.com, and Khisha's social media handle there at Originalities, Twitter and Instagram, and probably everything else too. How do you get? And then we'll get to this. Everybody's waiting to see the shoes. We got to see the shoes. I have not seen any other like local apparel companies doing anything with that, so I want to hear the story on that. But just real briefly first, how do you get like the inspiration? So I don't have a Drip Ohio shirt yet. I gotta get that's next on my list. But like how do you come up with the ideas or the inspiration in the first place? And is this you doing it, or is there do you have designers, or you come up with these ideas, or it's different every time?
So I do want to give a shout out to my team, just because everything is not just me. I don't want to take the credit for all that. I may have started the company and things like that, but I have a great team who we have like a design team. That's what I call it. It's a design team. We'll brainstorm ideas and things like that. And actually the drip shirt, we actually created that maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And then sometimes it's all about timing, like when you come out with items. And I felt like the timing was right. So that's why we came out with, like, say, the drip shirt. And for different shirts, it's just like, for example, we were planning on coming out with more street shirts. Well, then, like, with all the like the racial injustice and things like that were going on, we're like, okay, let's just put this to the side. Let's create like Black Lives Matter shirts and give people that, let them wear how they feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just different things like that where, I mean, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to come out with this. Like, it's kind of, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my team. So, I never usually say like, oh, this is, even if it's just something I came up with, I'm not like, hey, everybody, this is what I came up with.
Right.
I'm a team player. So. No,
I love it. And the stuff you're doing, the stuff I'm doing, and really in life, if you're going to be successful, right, it is definitely a team effort. And that kind of goes back to, like thanking people and make them feel valued and stuff, because, they are. And so we can't forget about that. And so those little personal touches really do it. So having said that, I've got the shoes here. We see your branding on here. Nice, high quality box. I like that. Looks good. While I get into this, can you tell us, like, first of all, these are a particular, I don't know what the word is, logo brand on here. Tell us about Product of Public Schools. I should have run and changed my shirt real quick because I've got those in all the colors. And man, I'm gonna fix these. But tell us about the Product of Public Schools and the background on that.
Yeah, so like living in Cincinnati for quite some time, I realized that the first thing people ask you, they don't want to know, like, what do you do for a living? They don't want to know how many degrees you have. They don't care. They want to know, what school did you go to? And more importantly, not what school, not what college, what high school did you go to? So high schools are very important here, and like what I realized is it was almost like a private versus public thing, and I just wanted to create something that gave people a sense of pride about being a product of public school. So it was no shade towards, those who went to private school. We have people on our team who went to private school. So it's definitely no shade there. It's just that I feel like people who go to public schools don't get as much recognition. They just don't assume that they went to public schools, So I wanted to create something that gave people that sense of pride about being a product of public schools. And, came out with the shirt. It exploded. We shipped all over, that shirt. I've even sent shirts to different countries.
Wow.
Who are like products of public schools. But most importantly, I want to inspire people. I want people to wear that sense of pride, like, hey, I'm a product of public schools. People just assume, like, sometimes they have like negative connotations just about people who went to public schools. Heck, even while we was at Kenwood Mall, when we first came out with that shirt, I'll tell you this, I don't really tell very many people this, but we had somebody who came up to our booth and she said, product of public schools, like you must work at people must work at McDonald's and are pregnant. And I'm just like,
wow.
Like, I was so stunned. I couldn't even respond right away because I was just like, did she just say that? But she like walked away. And I wish she could have walked back so I could just talk to her just about like why we have this shirt. But then it was something that I made sure I educated like our other employees about, like, hey, this is what happened to me and this may happen. So just be prepared and, know what to tell people when this happens. Like, I don't tell people like, hey, you need to say this. Like, I want people to say, how they feel within reason, but overall, I just want people to have that sense of pride about being a product of public schools. Heck, some of the most successful people in America went to public schools. Yep. And pretty soon we're going to put something out that shows you like, hey, these people went to public schools as well. So I think it's a good message. It's a really good message. Like we were selling these shirts in Indianapolis a couple years ago, and they have like county schools and things like that. And we're like, county schools is public schools. And sometimes people who went to public schools don't realize they went there. Like people who sometimes went to rural schools and, you know, suburban schools, you know, they're like, I didn't go to public schools. And we're like,
Yep.
That's public schools, you know. Usually people will say like, hey, I love that shirt, but I didn't go to public school. So then the next question that we ask is, hey, what school did you go to? And they'll say Princeton or Indian Hill. And I'm like, that's public schools, you know.
Right.
So sometimes it's an education lesson. Then they think about it and they're like, you know, that is right, you know, but education lesson, you'd be surprised how many times we have to, you know, let people know that. But I mean, it's not about just that. It's just making sure that people are educated. You know, it's not an aha gotcha moment. It's just making sure that we're educating people and to inspire our younger kids. Like, hey, you know, it's okay. You went to public. If you're at public schools, you can do this too. You know, so.
No, I love that. And to your point, like, you know, if you in wealthier, you know, neighborhoods or school districts, whatever the case may be, and we get into a whole political discussion of school funding, but, you know, yeah, you don't realize that it is public schools, you know, public school teachers, and, you know, labor is a big thing that's near and dear to my heart. And so certainly in Cincinnati, we're the, you know, the fastest growing big city school district in the state of Ohio. And, you know, all of our great teachers who are working so hard, especially through this, you know, crazy COVID time. Kids are at home, they got poor, you know, internet service, this and that. But yet they're, you know, doing the absolute best they can and working harder than ever. So I am proud of all of those folks, as well as our young people, and proud of you in the brand. And so tell us now more about the shoes. Here we go. This is the big unveiling. These are the PS1s, right? So public school one, is that what we call them?
The recess ones.
Recess ones. Okay, yeah. I don't know where I got that. I'm making stuff up now.
Yeah. Well,
recess. That was, you know, I got some of my highest grades were actually in recess. So I like.
Yeah.
But yeah. So here these are now. These are the you get the like. I don't know what it's called, the metric or the European sizing. So for me, typically I'm like a 12 and a half or so. And these are, I think, 47 in that kind of European styling, but or sizing. But tell us, here's what we got, folks. Check this out. Are these tight or what? Limited. I'm assuming this is some type of limited edition. Do we have to order? I know I ordered them right when I saw you coming out with these. I'm like, all right, got to have it. Tell us a little bit about the background on these specifically.
Yeah, so one of the things about me is I'm a sneakerhead. Most of the time, if you see me at the shop, I have on some sneakers, you know. So it was only right to create a sneaker, you know. And then for one of the strongest messages that we have is product of public schools. And I was just like, why don't we create a product of public school sneaker, you know? And I wanted something that was a little bit comfortable, breathable, and just something that just looked dope, really. Yeah. So there you have it, you know? Like, so at first it was like a pre-order. You know, it was interesting just because, like, sometimes people don't think of, like, all the things that go into entrepreneurship, but it was like, right. And like I could tell you, like, t-shirts, how many t-shirts we need to order and things like that. Sneakers, this is all new. So I had no idea. So I was like, okay, what we'll do is we'll do a pre-order and then we'll kind of, you know, bring some more sneakers into the shop and go from there. So we do have these in the shop. We're actually going to put those out when I get there later on. We're going to put a pair out so people can get them. We do have, you know, limited quantities and things like that. But like because I'm a sneakerhead, every piece of the unboxing was important to me. You know, I didn't just want to create like, hey, here's some shoes in a bag. Like, no, right. Do it right. So
well, speaking of that, I glossed over it a little bit. Let me just show folks just a little bit here. So, you know, you have your tissue paper stuffed in there, maintaining the shape of the shoe. So that's cool. Did not spare any of that. So we got plenty of that. It's definitely interesting lacing system that you have there. But we can talk about that in a second. But I did want to mention the other thing here. Besides your box with the logo sticker on that, I did notice this when I first opened them up. Even the tissue paper, maybe it's hard to see on my camera here, but product of public schools printed right on the, I didn't even know you could print on tissue paper like that. So that's like a little attention to detail that you have there.
You know, we had to find a way to do it, you know? We had to do it. I didn't just want regular tissue paper. I was like, it would be so dope if we could put like product of public schools on it. And even, you know, the label that has like the size on the actual box, you know? Like when we came out with the name of the shoe, I just was trying to think and I said, what should we name these shoes? You know, talk to the team. Everybody loves recess, you know?
What kid doesn't love recess?
Right.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, they don't even get recess. But I mean, so that experience that you feel at recess, the time to play and all that was incorporated kind of with this shoe. So it was just a no-brainer to call it recess. You know, so it's recess ones, you know, it's our very first shoe. So of course we had to call it the one. So it is a PS, product of public schools, you know, recess one. So
I like it. You know, I might have to put in my request for an orange and blue model, because you do have an orange and blue, which our friend Crystal Dandridge, as soon as she saw it, she's texted me. She's like, you got to get the orange and blue product of public schools t-shirt, which I picked up right away. But yeah, so that might be my request for orange and blue. And then we have, hold on. I got to grab my cord. Sorry, everybody. Had to unplug my computer so I could move it around. We don't want to lose everybody here. We've got some folks stopping by, dropping some comments. If you have a question or comment for Khisha, anything, whatever it may be about her, the background or originalities, or the shoes, or how to order stuff, please drop a comment on here. But we have Kimberly Phillips stopping by to say she's a proud public school teacher. She loves her district and school. So there you go, showing the pride. And then our friend Bill Collins up in Madisonville is joining us. Bill's basically telling you to preach. That's good stuff. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Love to have your comments. So drop a comment, and I will keep an eye on those. But can you touch on like a couple of the features of the shoe? So the first thing that jumped out at me when I saw it, I'm not exactly a sneakerhead. I like, especially this style is kind of that Adidas type of style. But tell us a little bit about some of the features on here. The first thing that jumped out to me was this lacing. And now, is this how it remains? That's how you tie it? Mm-hmm. Or do you do something different? Tell us about the lacing system and some of the other stuff going on here.
Yeah, so basically we wanted something that was original, you know, something that was different, you know, not just, so yeah, like the lacing that's how it's laced, you know. It looks really cool, and it allows you to see more of the shoe as well, you know. The shoe.
Yeah, this is like a rubberized, plastic rubberized, I don't know what you call that, but so the laces actually run through the holes in this side piece here. Right.
Yeah. And then the shoe itself is very breathable. So, you know, on a hot day, your feet will be okay.
Right. Yeah. And then there's, let me see what else we have going on here. So the laces are cool. And then there's this kind of piece on the heel. Again, I'm, you know, no expert on this. So I don't know what all the lingo is for these pieces, but there's definitely add some stability to the heel there.
Definitely, we needed to have that stability there. You know, at first we started to, you know, put our logo on the back, but we're like, you know, let's just make it just straight product of public schools. Let's not even, you know, worry about throwing our logo on right away. You know, let's just, you know, let's just put product of public school everywhere. And then with the sole, it's so comfortable. Like you'll see how comfortable it is. Thanks, Tony Slick Kicks.
Yeah, that's DJ Ice Cold Tony. And I talk about branding. Tony makes he's a DJ, has been a friend of mine since like the beginning of time. But he also makes like I'll tell you, he's going to yell at me now because it's not on the tip of my tongue. But if you're a DJ, your logos, this is the guy you take your decks to, your turntables, and he does all the design on that Ice Cold Customs. So check out Ice Cold Customs. I know Tony's all about the branding the same way. And yeah, man, Tony, you're gonna need to pick up a pair of these. Originalities.com or slide by the store. So appreciate you stopping by and commenting, bro. And then look who Khisha, look who it is.
Brother
you had to know. Brother Powell in the hizzy. Hey, yeah. Powell, you got your shoes yet, man? I got mine. Where's yours at? I love it. Yeah. So anyway, so that I think that pretty well sums it up. I appreciate everybody stopping by here. And any closing comments, Khisha? How's it going for like the Christmas sales season? And then tell us a little bit more about when we go pick up some shirts and some shoes, how the best way to do that is right now. And for those that have just joined us, about the delivery that you're doing as well.
Okay, yeah. So there's a couple different ways that you can shop with us. Whether it's a shirt, a sweatshirt, we have ornaments. We want to be the one-stop shop. So if you need some shoes, we have shoes. If you need a shirt, we have shirts. We have a lot of different things, but you can come to our East Walnut Hills location at 2809 Woodburn Avenue. If I said it too fast, just type in Originalities. Is original, then ITES, and we're on Google. You can search us through your GPS, all different types of stuff. Speaking of GPS, that was a really cool thing. The first time I saw Originalities in the GPS, it was like, heading to
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the website back up so people can see that. So go check out her website. Hopefully you've got orders pouring in right now as we speak. And
20% off.
Oh, wait, what? How much? What? Wait, what?
And everything 20% off through Christmas Eve. So,
oh, wow. That's awesome. So 20% off. If you're local in Cincinnati, you can maybe even get a personal delivery from the owner of the company, for crying out loud, or one of her great employees. And for those from out of town, you get it shipped to you. And we like to support the U.S. Postal Service as well. So that's always a good thing too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wish everybody a wonderful afternoon, a safe and happy holiday as Christmas approaches and the new year. I got to get you to try some Fresca. Maybe we'll have to make up the cocktail. Maybe we'll do it that way. It's good stuff, and not just because they sent me this nice bar set in the mail as well. But it's good stuff. And then obviously Originalities and Product of Public Schools. I think we got a little teaser earlier. You just mentioned something about something new that's about to be coming out. So we'll keep an eye out for that, whatever that is, and we'll let everybody know when the time comes. And then the other thing is, order something, get on her mail list, and then you'll be the first to know when there's stuff like hopefully the orange and blue Recess 2s come out. If we can make that happen. But anyway, Khisha, thank you for jumping on here last minute with me. And this was super fun. I can't wait to try these out, but I'm only wearing them on sunny days because if these things get scuffed up, I'm gonna be angry. I can't have mud on my Recess 1s. No way. No way. All right. Everybody that dropped the comment, thank you so much. Khisha, have a good one. I know they're probably waiting for you down at the store now, so we'll let you run. But everybody be safe and have an amazing weekend, Cincinnati and across the globe, everybody who tuned in for this. Khisha, thank you. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you all. Absolutely. We'll see you all later. Have a great weekend. All right. Take care, Khisha. Thank you.
All right.